Axel, Speedy, Sonic Jr., Amy Jr., and Aurora all get electric normal type, mainly because of Sonic's speed and Amy's, normalness. But also because of the forms, the whole Sonic movie, and yeah, those. But if you think that's overpowered, you could leave it for their forms, but I'm just gonna leave it here, and if you want, you can make it a normal ground, or a normal rock, or just normal, let me know. Craig and Tails Jr. are grass psychic, mostly because of Cosmo and everything with the grass plant theme, and the psychic powers she can also do, which Craig and Tails Jr. carry on from her. But if this was another Craig, just make it a flying normal, But Canon Craig and Tails Jr. are actually the strongest out of all of them, so this is the type that they're supposed to be. Flash and Knuckles Jr. would be fighting and flying because of their parents again. Rouge is the bat, she can fly, and Knuckles is the puncher of the team. So that will make them both be able to fly with their hidden wings. Yeah, they do have wings, they're just hidden somewhere. Other options would be fighting ground if I could, or fighting dark, because of Rouge being a spy and everything, but this is just the one that I thought of. Unfortunately, Mia and Rose get a normal type because we don't really see Rose's parents, and as for Mia's, they don't really have powers and usually use weapons. So yeah, nothing special for these two, but they could still bring something to use. Wraith the Hedgehog and Shadow Jr. are actually fine being just dark types because, ultimate life form, multiple edge, leader of Team Dark. All that. Phoenix and Silver Jr. was another pair that I thought had a good type, and it is Psychic and Fire for Silver's Psychokinesis and Blaze's Fire powers. So yeah, it pretty suits well for them. Metal Axel and Metal Sonic Jr. get a Steel Electric because they're robots, and they have different attacks from regular Axel and regular Sonic Jr. Also, I'm not ranking Eggman Jr. because, he's a human. Starkeye was a tricky one, as Kirby Jr. can copy any ability, so Starkeye would have that too, but for me, I think Psychic will do best for both of them, as they could copy any ability, and Poison because of the goof slime ability Starkeye has. This also goes for Meta Knight Jr. too, and all of Starkeye's siblings. Big Jr. and Small the Cat are normal dragon because their dad is Big and their mother is Dulcie the Dragon. And if you think that's overpowered, you could swap it for fighting or something, or just make it normal. You can tell easily why I gave each type to these members of Team Chaotix Jr. Also, for Mighty Jr., Ray Jr., and Female Mighty, they will be a ground flying, but I couldn't get a picture of them, so yeah, I thought I should mention that, because they're Team Chaotix Jr. also. And finally, Chip Jr. gets Fairy. If there was a light type, I'd give it to him, but there isn't, so he sticks to Fairy. Omega Jr. gets Steel Fighting because his dad is Omega. And Craig Doll gets Ghost Dark because you already know. So yeah, that concludes our list. And if I haven't mentioned anyone, it's either because they're similar to their sibling, or if you want, you could put them in the comments, tell me their type, and I will mention them in the next episode of this. But for now, the next episode is probably gonna be Miraculous Kids and FNF Kids. Or if you want to suggest another series I should rank types off, let me know. So I'll see you next time.